Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Choices Finding Your Joy. Paula Vail here, and I am sitting here today with today's guest. So excited to have him with us. We have Jessie Puryear, and he is the owner of Urban Float in University Place, Washington. And I'm just really excited. We're going to talk about what this is. We're going to share how amazing it is, and I'm actually going to share my experience with it. So first off, Jessie, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you very much for the invitation. It's very grateful. Thank you.
I am just honored, and I am just so tickled to have met you and experienced what you offer others. Well, let's begin with a bit of your background and what got you into floating.
Yeah, absolutely. I did 22 years active duty in the Navy, and kind of towards the end of my career, I started off in enlisted ranks, raised up, got commissioned. I was an officer towards the end of my career, and just was overwhelmed with stress. I had a few injuries I was dealing with, and wanted to find something that would just help relieve all those kind of different symptoms. I tried meditation, I tried different things, and I just didn't have success. And I heard about floating, and like everyone, I heard about it. I immediately Googled it to figure out, okay, is there somewhere near me? What is this about? And found a location, went and floated, and just had an incredible experience. Just came out so relaxed, feeling so much better, and just thought, wow, this is an incredible tool that more people need to have access to. And like I said, I was coming towards the end of my career and just felt this needs to be here in this area. We have a large military concentration here, a lot of guys with high stress jobs, not just military, but just normal everyday life. Can be overwhelming, and a lot of people are looking for alternatives that don't involve using some form of pharmaceutical every day to relieve their symptoms, whether it's for pain or whether it's for anxiety issues, depression issues, and that's kind of how I got into it.
Yes, and it's true, Jessie. Life brings us stress, and we need things in our lives to help us with that stress. And this is a great example of something. Share some of the what you think are the most awesome benefits of this.
The biggest benefit, I think, is the ability to disconnect for an hour. We live in an age now where we're never not connected via our phones, our computers, our TVs. We're never disconnected, and so our brain never has an opportunity to relax. And when you get in the tanks and you're floating effortlessly and at 1,200 pounds of Epsom salt, and it's heated to the temperature of your skin, so you don't even feel like you're floating in anything. It's just kind of like you're floating on a cloud. Yes. And if you turn the lights off and you go with no sound, all those parts of your brain shut off. And the research shows this, and it really allows your brain to work on internal repair mechanisms. And we see it every day. We see people walk into the store and they just look like beat dogs. You can tell the weight of the world is on their shoulders, and they'll float that first time and they come out. And we have a term we call it blissed out. And their eyes sparkle, they're smiling, yes. Their body posture is different, their energy is different, and it just continues to get better.
That was my experience, Jessie, and you actually said, yeah, you're just blissed out, Paula, because I was just feeling so good. Oh my gosh, it was so fantastic. I had no idea what to expect. Went in there and had that beautiful hour, became so relaxed, and I love that you have different choices of music for us. So we could have music, we can have birds in the background, whatever we choose, and really it was indescribable. It really was so fantastic, Jessie. I absolutely loved it.
Absolutely, and we get a lot of people that are skeptical that, you know, we'll get people say, well, I just float in my bathtub, or I'll float in the lake, or I'll float in my swimming pool. And it's not even on the same planet.
Yeah.
It's like apples and oranges and variety. And it just has incredible benefits. And I'll give you an example. I have a client who started floating with us in January of 2019, suffered from extreme PTSD issues, nightmares, on some pretty heavy duty medications, anxieties, antipsychotic drugs, just to function day to day. And after her first float, she said it was the first night in a long time she didn't have a nightmare. And so she started floating on a regular basis. After 6 months, in conjunction working with her doctor, she completely eliminated all her anti-anxiety medicines. She told us she would get these panic attacks, and before she started floating, she had diazepam, which is a pretty heavy duty narcotic. She said she was using it 2 to 3 times a day to function. She told us this was in December. She said this entire year I used it like twice. I went from 3 times a day to twice an entire year. In January this year, she started floating 2 hours at a time. And now she said after 5 floats at 2 hours, her paranoia is gone. She said she always felt like someone was following her, watching her. You know, whenever she went in public, she was being judged. And she said, now I wake up and I don't have any paranoia at all. And she went to her mental health professional, and he said, well, absolutely, we think it's because you're floating. And floating is literally rewiring her brain to this new normal that now when she hears her heartbeat and stuff like that, she associates it with relaxation instead of anxiety. And so it's had a profound effect. And while she is an extreme case, she is not out of the norm. We see it with clients all the time, and it's incredible. And it's a shame it's not covered by insurance yet. So we're trying to push that through. There's research going on currently to try to back up the results that we see in the. And it's not just my location. There's a Facebook group called the Float Collective with all kinds of float center owners across the country, and we all see the same effects in people. And lately, we've started seeing a lot more clients come in and say, either one, they were referred by their therapist because they've told their therapist, I don't want to do pharmaceuticals anymore. I want to try an alternative method to relieve my symptoms, but without all the side effects. And so we're starting to see an increase in those clients coming in. We're doing a project with the Wounded Warrior Project coming up.
Oh, exciting!
On the 22nd of February, they're bringing in 36 wounded veterans to come in and float and introduce them to floating. And the amazing thing is they filled up all the spots in less than 24 hours. So they sent an email out, and when I was talking to the lady at the Wounded Warrior Project who's coordinating with us, she's like, literally, I just sent the email yesterday, it's already full.
Oh,
So I know there's a demand out there, and you know, we're trying to get in front of the VA to get them to cover this.
Oh, that would be huge, and it will benefit the vets so much as it does the everyday person. I mean, and that's really a great way to describe it, Jessie. You get so relaxed that your brain just rewires. And I mean, there's nothing like my first time. I've done it multiple times now, and you know, you're floating, you're on the water, you're not sinking, you're in that salt water, and the temperature is perfect, and you just get blissed out.
Well, you can relax every muscle in your body, so it's great for people with chronic pain too, because your body will stretch back out. You don't have gravity trying to crush it in the dust anymore, so it just has a multitude of benefits across the spectrum.
I can imagine what it would do for back pain. And back pain is the number 2 most common ailment people have in this country. And I can imagine what it would do for that.
I have a client who, the first time he came in, big tall guy, about 6'3", had just come off neck fusion surgery. Walking, he looked like Frankenstein walking in, just slow, couldn't move well. His wife had to help him in and out of the tank. After about 3 floats, he doesn't need his wife anymore. He walks, he's standing up straight. It's completely, his recovery is completely changed, and he feels normal again. And people tell us the only thing I've added is I've started floating.
Yes. And myself, I've had 3 neck surgeries. So I can understand that. And lucky for me, Reiki really helped me with my pain. But then I've also, with the experience of your urban float, I mean, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
How good it makes my muscles feel.
Yeah. Yeah. And, you know, the biggest hurdle we run into is one, people have never heard of floating. So we spend a lot of time educating the public what it is, why they should try it. And the other great thing I say to folks is the worst thing that can happen to you is you come out relaxed after an hour.
Mm-hmm.
There's no side effects.
Yeah.
There's no, you know, there's absolutely no downside to giving it a try. There's only upside.
Yes.
You know, go in with an open mind.
Yes.
Relax. Some people, it takes them a few tries to learn to, I like to say learning to float is like learning to ride a bike.
Mm-hmm.
You know, some folks can get on that bike and immediately they just take off.
Yes.
Some, it takes them a few times to figure it out, to learn to relax the muscles, to shut off the mind.
It's not a practice that they're normally doing.
Yes.
Especially someone with stress, high stress, PTSD, they don't give themselves the time, or they're just not able to do it. And your floating is gonna give that to them.
And the interesting thing is, the folks that I see have the quickest response are those that need it the most. Like the folks that'll come in and say, yep, I'm like the lady with the PTSD.
Yeah.
She first float saw a change. And it's just because your brain, your mind is always in this hyper vigilant fight or flight mode. Mm-hmm. And when you get in the tank, that shuts off. And so it's one of those things they notice immediately when they come out, because the effects last for hours.
Yes.
It's not you come out of the tank and suddenly you're back to where you were. It's you come out of the tank and you'll stay in that state for a day and a half, 2 days. So it's an incredible tool for those folks that it just really has life-changing properties.
Yeah. I mean, your body is literally saying, thank you. I feel so good.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. The hardest part we see is people making the time to do it.
Yes.
People, I think the biggest hurdle we run into is people don't take time to take care of themselves. We take care of our spouses, our kids, our jobs, our homes, and we always put ourselves last.
Yes.
And we're the ones that suffer.
Yes.
Because we think we can't, because I have all this other stuff I have to do. Instead of saying, if I take care of myself first, everything else will take care of itself. Yes. That 1 hour out of your day will not change anything else.
And what I have said to myself is, I'm going to fit this in. It doesn't matter that I am crazy busy. I am going to fit this in because this is a gift for me and my body.
Yeah.
This weekend, I'm actually coming and bringing a girlfriend.
Oh, nice.
And we're both going to do the float. And then we're going to be kind of just feeling good and go out to lunch, have a get blissed out day. Yeah. I'm really excited to share it with her.
We have a lot of couples that come float, like husband and wife, and they'll come and float like on a Saturday morning, Sunday morning. That's kind of how they start their weekends, and then they'll have coffee and breakfast. And, it becomes a routine. It's one of those things like going to the gym. You have to make it a habit.
Yes.
You have to prioritize it, and you will reap the benefits from it.
When you first began researching this, Jessie, what intrigued you the most?
Well, in my job in the Navy, I was a health physicist, so I deal with radiation protection, radiation safety. So I came from a scientific background, so I wanted to learn what's the science, what is there. And once I read the science and it was almost like unbelievable what the researchers were reporting, because like they would do a study and they would have like say 50 participants, and all 50 would show a benefit, which is not normal in research. You know, if you go through drug trials, not everybody benefits from the medication. But in floating, what they saw was that every client reported an improvement in their condition, which really kind of like astounded me.
Yes.
And made me want to seek it out and just try it. And I just thought it sounded, to me, it sounded perfect.
Yes.
Like there couldn't be anything better. And for me, I immediately saw the benefits and just thought more people need to do this.
Yes. Yes.
Especially in today's day and age.
I had never even heard about it, Jessie, until a couple months ago.
Yeah.
And then coming and trying it. And I was, wow, this could help so many people.
Absolutely.
It's simple, but yet so powerful.
Yeah. And I think that's the thing that most people don't believe. I just float, that's it. You just float, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it is that powerful.
Yeah.
It's so simple, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
But believe me, it works.
Oh.
It works. I promise you.
I know in one of my floats, I actually just envisioned I was just floating on the top of the ocean, and there was all this marine life swimming around, and I'm just enjoying it.
Yeah.
I mean, our mind goes all kinds of places.
Yeah, and it's funny, some people will come in and have kind of lucid dreams. Because you get into what's called into a theta wave state in your mind. Yes. So normally in our waking state, we're in an alpha beta wave state. So that's consciousness, fight or flight, thoughts, all that stuff. And when you get into the tank and you're able to shut down, your mind slows down into what's called a theta wave state. And that's the state right as you're falling asleep. So you're in the tank, you're conscious and you're aware, but your mind is in that place right as you're falling asleep. And so that's where your brain is doing its repairs, it's saving those thoughts. And you know, I'll go in the tank sometimes and I'll have something that's bothering me, some problem I need to deal with, maybe in my business or my life. And I'll make breakthroughs in the tank because I can really just think about that one thing in the tank without any distraction, and your mind is really able to go into those deep thoughts and view stuff from multiple angles and work through problems. Or sometimes I go in the tank and I just don't want to think about anything, you know, and it's great for that too.
Yeah, I laid there and just said to myself, I am just enjoying this moment. Just enjoying this moment.
Yeah.
How good I felt.
Yeah. Yeah. And sometimes I fall asleep. We have people that fall asleep in the tank.
I was just going to ask you that.
Yeah, and the great thing is, it does. But because the water is so buoyant, you can't drown. Like it is, it takes effort to put your head underwater.
Yeah.
Like if you try to stick your head underwater, it just pops out of the water. You cannot submerge yourself.
Yeah.
Almost physically impossible.
Yes.
So that's and we actually had one lady, she got in such a deep sleep, we had to send her husband in to go get her out of the tank. So they came in there floating together. Her float was over. She didn't come out after a while, so we knocked on the door. We didn't get a response. We went in. We knocked on the tank. We didn't get a response. Finally, her husband went in and opened the tank, and she was still asleep.
Wow.
Cold in the tank, just in such a super relaxed, deep sleep. And she was like a rag doll when she came out. She was just so relaxed.
And that is so where we heal.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
You know, so much healing can go on just in that hour of pleasure and relaxation.
And it's really, you know, watching the changes in our clients, it's really made me believe what a powerful thing the mind is.
Yes.
And given the opportunity, the mind can fix a lot of things without other intervention. And we see it every day. And You know, if there's people out there that have never heard of it, I would urge you to go look it up. You can just Google floating. There's a great website called clinicalflotation.com where every research paper and there's videos and there's news articles are all, it's like a repository for floating information. Like if you're a skeptic, go look at the research, and it'll validate everything we're saying, and then go give it a try. You know, whether you're here by us or any other part of the country, you know, just do a Google search, floating centers near me. And
now, Jessie, how do they find you in particular?
so we're in University Place. So if you do a Google search for Urban Float University Place, we'll pop up. We're in the Tacoma area, and we're open 6 days a week, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. And so you can find us on our website, urbanfloat.com /University Place. And you can find us there. You can book appointments there. We also have an app, so you can download the Urban Float app, select your location. You can set up appointments that way. Or you can give us a call. Our phone number is 253-533-7300. And give us a call and we'll get your appointment set up. Give it a try.
I absolutely love it. I love it. And I'm a big fan.
Yeah.
I'm a regular now.
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm excited for sharing it with so many people. With a few minutes left, Jessie, what last words do you want to share about your Urban Float? What do you want to leave with everyone to think about here?
You know, I would tell everybody that there are alternatives to pharmaceuticals. If you suffer from anxiety, depression, PTSD, and you're not having success switching from different pharmaceuticals, seek out alternative healings, whether it's Reiki, whether it's floating, whether it's bowls, different things. Give alternative methods a try, and you may find something that works better for you in the long run and is healthier for you without the side effects.
Yes.
We're finding more and more clients don't want the side effects anymore. I think we were in a time where it's easy to pop a pill and go about your day and hope it fixes everything. But I think we're getting to a point now where people are realizing that's not always the best thing.
Yes, because that has become a fix in this world. We'll pop this pill, do this. This is a fix that's natural, that's healing, that affects our brain and our emotions. I just fell in love with it, Jessie. I'm a testimonial. I absolutely love it. That's why I was really excited to get Jessie on the show, because I wanted to share this. Personally, I had never heard of it until a few months ago, and I am just absolutely a big fan.
You're a convert.
I am.
You're a floater.
I am. I am. I enjoy the blitzed out.
Yeah.
I'm feeling so good, and I'm already, you know. Let's be happy. Now it's I'm even happier.
Well, it's funny. I have clients tell me, like, I have a client who floats quite a bit and also does massage.
Mm-hmm.
And what she's told me is, like, she goes, when I'm getting massage, I think about floating and I relax even more. So now it's to the point they've floated so much, the thought of floating relaxes them.
Yeah.
So when they get stressed out, they just think about their floats and it calms them down.
Yeah.
You know,
they think about it and kind of
takes them back to that mental.
Isn't it amazing what we can do?
It's incredible.
Ourselves.
It's incredible. And I like to tell folks,
exciting.
You know, no matter what you go into the tank looking for, whether it's relief from mental health symptoms or pain symptoms, the tank doesn't care. It gives you relief for all those things. So you may only notice the one symptom you're looking for relief from, but you're also getting, you know, most people are deficient in magnesium. And when you're floating in the tank, you're absorbing that magnesium through your skin.
Oh, I did not realize that.
Yeah, and so magnesium is great for, you know, depression. It's great for a whole ton of biological functions in our body. We also have athletes that come float, and what they tell us is it reduces their recovery time almost nothing. So they can go do strenuous workouts, do events, and come back and float, and their recovery time is minimized.
Oh, I love it. I know it is a wonderful experience for me, and I know my neck is not hurting.
Nice.
My neck is happy.
Nice.
Yes, and I look forward to my float this coming Saturday, actually. Oh, well, everyone, this has been so fantastic. I am just thrilled to share Jessie with all of you, and I mean it. Go check out the Urban Float. It's fascinating. And Jessie, you can find in University Place. It's fantastic.
Thank you very much. Yeah, we hope to see everybody there. Give us a try. We think you'll really benefit from it.
This is huge. This is huge.
It is.
It really is a great modality. Well, have a great week, everyone. Love, hugs, and blessings. Jessie, love, hugs, and blessings.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here today.
Absolutely.
Bye.